India's External Affairs Minister, Jaishankar, embarked on a significant diplomatic tour across Europe. This six-day visit, commencing on May 19, 2025, covers the Netherlands, Germany and Denmark. It represents a crucial phase in India's proactive foreign policy engagement. The timing of this mission is particularly noteworthy. It follows closely on the heels of serious security developments in the South Asian region. These events have underscored the persistent challenges India faces from cross-border terrorism. Minister Jaishankar's journey is thus laden with multiple strategic objectives, aiming to fortify India's international partnerships and articulate its core concerns on global platforms with clarity and conviction. This European outreach is designed to project India's steadfast resolve and its vision for a secure and cooperative global order. The diplomatic tour is meticulously planned to address a spectrum of critical issues. High on the agenda is the urgent need to confront state-sponsored terrorism. Recent provocations, including the heinous attacks in Pahalgam, serve as a stark reminder of this ongoing threat. Beyond security, the visit aims to bolster economic ties with key European nations. Enhancing trade partnerships and fostering deeper economic cooperation are central to India's developmental aspirations. Minister Jaishankar will also be championing India's vision for a multipolar world order. This reflects India's belief in a more balanced and equitable global architecture, where multiple centers of power contribute to stability and governance. The discussions are expected to be comprehensive and forward-looking. This European engagement is Jaishankar's first major overseas visit since the recent escalation of tensions. The backdrop includes the Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor, India's robust response to terror infrastructures across the border. These events have significantly shaped the immediate context of his diplomatic interactions. He carries a clear message of India's zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism. Furthermore, he aims to sensitize European leaders about the complexities of the security situation in India's neighborhood. The minister's interactions will seek to build a stronger consensus on countering terrorism and holding its sponsors accountable. His diplomatic efforts are pivotal in shaping international understanding and support for India's position. The choice of the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark for this mission is strategic. These nations are important players within the European Union and hold influential voices in international forums. Engaging with their leadership provides an opportunity to strengthen bilateral relations across various domains. These include political dialogue, economic collaboration, technological partnerships, and cultural exchanges. Minister Jaishankar's visit also serves to consolidate India's outreach efforts. It is part of a broader diplomatic initiative involving multiple delegations visiting numerous countries. This concerted effort underscores India's commitment to active global engagement and its determination to secure its national interests while contributing to global peace and prosperity. The outcomes of this tour will be closely watched. A primary and urgent focus of External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's European tour is the persistent challenge of cross-border terrorism. This issue has unfortunately been brought into sharp relief by recent tragic events. The dastardly terror attacks in Pahalgam, a serene valley in Kashmir, have once again highlighted the grave threat India faces from elements operating from beyond its borders. These attacks, aimed at disrupting peace and causing civilian casualties, have drawn widespread condemnation. Minister Jaishankar is tasked with conveying the depth of India's concern and its unwavering resolve to combat this menace. He will present a detailed account of these incidents to his European counterparts, emphasizing the external orchestration behind such acts of violence. The Pahalgam attacks are not viewed as isolated incidents by New Delhi. Instead, they are seen as part of a sustained campaign of terrorism directed against India. This campaign, according to Indian intelligence assessments, receives active support and sanctuary from state actors in Pakistan. During his discussions in Europe, Minister Jaishankar will specifically point to Pakistan's continued complicity in fostering terrorism. He will stress India's long-standing policy of zero tolerance towards all forms of terrorism. The minister will articulate that India will not hesitate to take all necessary measures to protect its citizens and territorial integrity from such threats. This message is intended to be firm and unequivocal. The briefing to European leaders will include evidence and intelligence related to the planning and execution of the Pahalgam attacks. This is aimed at providing a comprehensive understanding of the situation on the ground. India seeks to sensitize the international community to the fact that the threat of terrorism emanating from its western neighbor is not just a regional problem, but has wider implications for global security. By presenting credible information, New Delhi hopes to garner stronger international support for its counter-terrorism efforts. The goal is to create a united front against countries that use terrorism as an instrument of state policy. This diplomatic engagement is crucial for building such a consensus. Minister Jaishankar's emphasis on the Pahalgam attacks serves to underscore the human cost of terrorism. It also highlights the resilience of the Indian people and the determination of the Indian government to overcome this challenge. The discussions will extend beyond mere condemnation of these acts. They will explore concrete ways in which India and European nations can enhance cooperation in counter-terrorism. This includes intelligence sharing, capacity building, and coordinated action against terrorist financing and recruitment networks. The aim is to translate shared concerns into tangible, collaborative efforts that can effectively neutralize terrorist threats and ensure lasting peace and stability in the region and beyond. In the wake of continued provocations and the tragic Pahalgam attacks, India undertook a significant counter-terrorism measure known as Operation Sindoor. This operation, conducted on May 7, 2025, was a direct and decisive response to the persistent threat posed by terror infrastructures located across the border. During this meticulously planned operation, Indian forces successfully targeted and destroyed 9 terror launch pads and associated infrastructure situated in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This action was based on credible intelligence regarding imminent threats to India's security. Minister Jaishankar is apprising his European counterparts of the specific circumstances that necessitated this preemptive action, emphasizing its targeted nature. Operation Sindoor was not conceived as an act of aggression, but as a necessary defensive measure. Its sole objective was to neutralize terror assets that were being actively used to train, equip, and launch terrorists into Indian territory. The Indian government has maintained that the operation was carried out with utmost care to avoid civilian casualties. The precision with which these targets were engaged underscores India's capability and its commitment to acting responsibly, even in the face of grave provocations. The aftermath of Operation Sindoor saw a brief but intense military confrontation between India and Pakistan, lasting 4 days. Pakistan forces attempted retaliatory strikes on Indian military installations on May 8, 9, and 10, 2025, which were effectively repelled. A ceasefire was mutually agreed upon on May 10, 2025, bringing an end to the immediate hostilities. Importantly, India's Foreign Secretary publicly confirmed that there was no nuclear dimension to this confrontation, and no nuclear threat was involved from either side. This clarification was crucial in de-escalating regional and international concerns. Minister Jaishankar, during his European visit, is reiterating India's stance on responsible conduct and its adherence to international norms, even while taking firm action to protect its national security interests. He is explaining that Operation Sindoor was a calibrated response, limited in scope and intent, aimed solely at dismantling the infrastructure of terrorism. The significance of Operation Sindoor extends beyond its immediate military success. It serves as a clear demonstration of India's resolve to act decisively against terror threats emanating from across its borders. It signals a shift towards a more proactive counter-terrorism posture. By informing European leaders about the operation, India seeks to ensure that its actions are understood in the correct perspective. It highlights the imperative for the international community to hold accountable those states that provide safe havens and support to terrorist organizations. The operation also underscores India's commitment to regional stability, which is consistently undermined by cross-border terrorism. Minister Jaishankar's explanations aim to solidify international understanding of India's compulsions and actions. A central objective of external affairs. Minister S. Jaishankar's European tour is to rally robust global support for India's unyielding stance against cross-border terrorism. This diplomatic offensive aims to sensitize the international community, particularly influential European nations, to the persistent threat India faces from terrorist groups operating with impunity from Pakistani soil. The minister is systematically presenting evidence and intelligence assessments that expose the intricate network of support these groups receive. His engagements are geared towards fostering a stronger international consensus on the need to unequivocally condemn and combat all forms of terrorism, irrespective of their origin or motivation. The goal is to create an environment where state sponsorship of terror becomes untenable. The strategy involves a concerted effort to internationally isolate Islamabad for its continued failure to dismantle terrorist infrastructures within its territory. Minister Jaishankar is highlighting the stark contrast between Pakistan's international commitments to counter terrorism and its actions on the ground. By providing specific details about the Pahalgam attacks and the intelligence leading to Operation Sindoor, India aims to underscore the direct link between Pakistan-based terror groups and violence in India. This consistent pattern of behavior, New Delhi argues, poses a significant threat not only to regional peace but also to global security. The ministers' discussions are aimed at encouraging European partners to exert greater pressure on Pakistan to take demonstrable and irreversible action against these terrorist entities. This diplomatic initiative is not limited to bilateral meetings. Minister Jaishankar is also engaging with influential European think tanks and thought leaders. These interactions provide a platform to articulate India's perspective to a wider audience, shaping public opinion and policy debates within Europe. The message is clear. Terrorism is a global scourge, and no country should be allowed to use it as an instrument of state policy. India is advocating for a united global front that imposes tangible costs on states that sponsor or support terrorism. This includes measures such as sanctions, restrictions on financial assistance, and greater scrutiny by international monitoring bodies. The aim is to make the sponsorship of terror an increasingly costly and counterproductive endeavor. The timing of this diplomatic push is crucial. It comes when Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar is concurrently visiting China, reportedly seeking support amidst the ongoing tensions with India. This highlights the geopolitical dimensions of the issue. India's outreach to Europe is therefore a vital component of a broader strategy to ensure that its voice is heard and its concerns are addressed effectively on the global stage. By building a coalition of like-minded nations, India seeks to strengthen the international framework for combating terrorism and ensure that countries like Pakistan are held accountable for their actions. Minister Jaishankar's efforts are pivotal in this comprehensive diplomatic campaign for a safer world. Section 5, Economic Diplomacy, Forging Stronger European Trade Links. Beyond the critical security discussions, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's European tour places significant emphasis on strengthening trade partnerships and deepening economic cooperation. Europe remains one of India's largest trading partners and a key source of foreign direct investment and advanced technology. The visit to the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark is strategically aimed at exploring new avenues for economic engagement and revitalizing existing ones. Minister Jaishankar is engaging with government officials, business leaders, and industry associations to identify opportunities for mutual growth. These discussions cover a wide range of sectors including technology, renewable energy, manufacturing, and digital infrastructure, reflecting the diverse economic interests of both India and its European partners. The minister is highlighting India's robust economic fundamentals and its ongoing reform agenda, which aims to create a more attractive and conducive environment for foreign investment. He is showcasing India as a dynamic and rapidly growing economy with immense potential for European businesses. Discussions are focusing on ways to facilitate smoother trade flows, reduce non-tariff barriers, and promote investment in key sectors. There is a particular focus on areas where European expertise and Indian market size can create synergistic benefits. This includes green technologies, sustainable development projects, and advanced manufacturing, aligning with India's goals for sustainable and inclusive growth. The pursuit of comprehensive trade agreements is also a key component of these economic dialogues. In each country, Minister Jaishankar is participating in specific economic forums and roundtables designed to connect Indian and European businesses. These platforms provide an opportunity for direct interaction, fostering a better understanding of market dynamics and investment opportunities. The emphasis is on building long-term, sustainable economic relationships that go beyond mere transactional exchanges. This involves encouraging joint ventures, research and development collaborations, and skill development initiatives. The Indian government is keen to attract European investment into its flagship programs like Make in India and the Production Linked Incentive (PLI) schemes, which are designed to boost domestic manufacturing and create employment opportunities. The minister is actively promoting these initiatives. The broader geopolitical context also influences these economic discussions. As global supply chains undergo realignment, India is positioning itself as a reliable and resilient partner. Minister Jaishankar is articulating India's vision for diversified and secure supply chains, emphasizing the importance of trusted partnerships in an increasingly complex global economic landscape. By enhancing economic ties with European nations, India seeks to not only boost its own economic development, but also contribute to a more stable and prosperous global economy. The economic dimension of this European tour is therefore integral to India's larger strategic objectives, complementing its security and political engagements. Stronger economic bonds are seen as a foundation for more robust overall relationships. Section 6. Championing a balanced world, India's push for multipolarity. A significant and recurring theme throughout External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's European engagements is India's strong advocacy for a multipolar global order. This concept is central to India's contemporary foreign policy thinking. It reflects a vision of a world where power is more distributed and international governance is more inclusive and representative. Minister Jaishankar is articulating this perspective with clarity, explaining that a multipolar world is not just an aspiration but a growing reality. He argues that such an order is more conducive to global stability and equitable development than unipolar or bipolar structures. This stance resonates with India's own rise as a significant global player and its ambition to contribute to shaping global norms and institutions. India's call for multipolarity stems from its belief that a diversity of perspectives and capabilities can better address complex global challenges. These challenges range from climate change and pandemics to economic instability and security threats. In a multipolar system, major powers and regional actors would engage on a more equal footing, fostering cooperation rather than confrontation. Minister Jaishankar is emphasizing that India does not see multipolarity as a zero-sum game. Instead, it envisions a system where countries work together based on shared interests and mutual respect. This approach seeks to move beyond outdated Cold War-era alignments and embrace a more flexible and pragmatic form of international relations. During his interactions with European counterparts, think tanks and strategic communities, Minister Jaishankar is discussing how India and Europe can collaborate to promote a more balanced global architecture. He is highlighting the shared values of democracy, rule of law, and commitment to a rules-based international order that can form the basis for such cooperation. India sees Europe as a natural partner in this endeavor, given the European Union's own evolution as a significant global actor. The discussions explore ways to strengthen multilateral institutions and make them more reflective of contemporary geopolitical realities. This includes reforms in organizations like the United Nations Security Council, where India has long sought a permanent seat. Advocating for a multipolar world also aligns with India's broader geopolitical and economic goals. It allows India to pursue an independent foreign policy, engaging with multiple partners based on its national interests. This strategic autonomy is crucial for India as it navigates a complex and rapidly changing international environment. Minister Jaishankar's articulation of this vision in Europe is aimed at fostering a deeper understanding of India's worldview. It seeks to build support for an international system that is more democratic, resilient, and capable of addressing the challenges of the 21st century. India's push for multipolarity is thus a forward-looking agenda for a more stable and prosperous world. Section 7. Engaging the Netherlands, bilateral imperatives and rescheduled visits. The Netherlands, the first stop on external affairs. Minister S. Jaishankar's European tour holds considerable importance for India, both economically and strategically. As a major trading nation and a hub for innovation, the Netherlands is a key partner for India within the European Union. Minister Jaishankar's visit began with productive exchanges, including meetings with Dutch delegates and experts. These initial discussions set a constructive tone, focusing on the breadth of the bilateral relationship. The agenda covered areas such as water management, agriculture, technology, and investment, where Dutch expertise and Indian market needs align effectively. The shared commitment to democratic values and a rules-based international order further strengthens the foundation of this partnership. A significant aspect of Jaishankar's discussions in the Netherlands involved his counterpart, Dutch Foreign Minister Casper Veldkamp. A key item on their agenda was the rescheduling of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's official visit to the Netherlands. This visit had been previously planned but was unfortunately cancelled due to the pressing security situation arising from Operation Sindoor and the subsequent military confrontation. Both ministers acknowledged the importance of the prime ministerial visit for providing further impetus to the bilateral relationship. They explored potential new dates and reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring the visit takes place at the earliest mutually convenient opportunity, underscoring the mutual desire to elevate strategic engagement. The discussions with Minister Veldkamp also delved into regional and global issues of mutual concern. Minister Jaishankar provided a detailed briefing on the security situation in South Asia, including the circumstances leading to the Pahalgam attacks and India's response through Operation Sindoor. He reiterated India's firm stance against cross-border terrorism and sought Dutch understanding and support for India's position. The Netherlands, as an influential voice within the EU and in various international forums, is an important partner in India's efforts to build a global consensus against terrorism. The exchange of views on these critical matters was candid and comprehensive, reflecting the maturity of the bilateral dialogue. Beyond the official meetings, Minister Jaishankar's engagements in the Netherlands also aimed at strengthening people-to-people ties and business connections. He interacted with members of the Indian diaspora, who play a vital role in fostering closer links between the two countries. The economic dimension was further explored through discussions with Dutch business leaders, encouraging greater investment in India and promoting bilateral trade. The Netherlands is already a significant investor in India, and there is considerable potential for further growth. This leg of the tour thus served to reinforce the multifaceted partnership between India and the Netherlands, laying the groundwork for future high-level interactions and deeper cooperation across various sectors. Section 8. Strengthening Ties, Dialogues in Germany and Denmark. Following his engagements in the Netherlands, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's diplomatic mission continues to Germany and Denmark. These two nations are pivotal European partners for India, each with unique strengths and contributions to the global stage. In Germany, Minister Jaishankar is scheduled to meet with the German Foreign Minister, Johann Wadephul. This meeting is particularly significant as it marks Jaishankar's first visit to Germany since Chancellor Friedrich Merz assumed office. This provides a crucial opportunity to establish rapport with the new German leadership and to reaffirm the strategic partnership between India and Germany, which is one of the most important bilateral relationships for India in Europe. The discussions in Germany are expected to cover the full spectrum of bilateral relations. This includes strengthening economic ties as Germany is India's largest trading partner in Europe and a major source of technology and investment. Cooperation in areas such as green energy, climate action, digital transformation, and advanced manufacturing will be high on the agenda. Both countries share a commitment to democratic values and a rules-based international order, providing a strong basis for collaboration on regional and global issues. Minister Jaishankar will also brief his German counterpart on the security situation in South Asia, including the recent developments concerning cross-border terrorism and India's firm response. Germany's voice is influential in shaping EU policy and international opinion. In Denmark, Minister Jaishankar will engage with Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen. Minister Rasmussen, a former Prime Minister of Denmark, brings considerable experience to these discussions. An interesting aspect of this meeting is its timing, as Rasmussen is concurrently concluding a visit to China, May 17th to 20th, 2025. This provides a unique context for an exchange of perspectives on global geopolitical dynamics. Furthermore, Denmark currently holds a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. This makes consultations with Denmark particularly valuable for India, especially on matters related to global peace and security, and India's own aspirations for UNSC reform. The dialogue will cover bilateral cooperation, especially in green strategic partnership. The agenda with Denmark will prominently feature the Green Strategic Partnership, a unique and ambitious framework for collaboration focused on sustainable solutions. This includes cooperation in renewable energy, water management, circular economy, and sustainable urban development. India and Denmark have made significant progress under this partnership, and the ministers will review ongoing initiatives, and explore new areas for collaboration. As with other European partners, Minister Jaishankar will also discuss the regional security environment and India's counter-terrorism efforts, rallying support from Denmark, given its UNSC membership, for India's stance on terrorism and its vision for a multipolar world will be a key objective. These engagements in Germany and Denmark are vital for consolidating India's partnerships in Europe. Section 9, Strategic Resonance: India's Evolving Diplomatic Footprint. External Affairs. Minister S. Jaishankar's current European tour, encompassing the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark, carries profound implications for India's international diplomacy. This mission is far more than a routine series of bilateral visits. It represents a proactive and assertive phase in India's engagement with the world. The timing, immediately following significant security challenges like the Pahalgam attacks and India's decisive Operation Sindoor, imbues the tour with a sense of urgency and purpose. By directly addressing these critical issues with key European partners, India is not only seeking understanding and support, but also firmly articulating its right to defend its national interests and ensure the security of its citizens against the scourge of cross-border terrorism. This diplomatic initiative is a critical component of a much larger, coordinated effort by New Delhi. It is noteworthy that 7 multi-party delegations, comprising 51 political leaders from both the ruling NDA coalition and the opposition India bloc, are concurrently visiting 32 countries and the European Union. This unified, bipartisan approach to conveying India's message, particularly in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor, significantly strengthens India's diplomatic voice. It demonstrates a national consensus on core security concerns and foreign policy objectives. This broad-based outreach, deliberately excluding China from this particular phase, underscores a strategic calibration in India's global engagement priorities, aiming to build a wide coalition of support. The visit underscores India's commitment to playing a more significant role on the global stage, advocating for a multipolar world order where diverse voices contribute to shaping international norms and addressing global challenges. Minister Jaishankar's engagements with European think tanks and thought leaders are instrumental in this regard, aiming to influence the broader discourse on global governance and India's place within it. Furthermore, the consistent emphasis on enhancing trade partnerships and economic cooperation highlights the pragmatic and development-oriented dimension of India's foreign policy. Stronger economic ties are seen as mutually beneficial, fostering resilience and prosperity for India and its European partners alike in an interconnected global economy. Ultimately, this European mission aims to consolidate India's position as a responsible yet resolute global actor. By clearly communicating its security compulsions, its economic aspirations, and its vision for a more balanced international system, India is actively shaping its diplomatic footprint. The outcomes of these discussions will not only influence bilateral relations with the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark, but also resonate within the broader European Union and other international forums. Minister Jaishankar's tour is a testament to India's dynamic foreign policy, one that is increasingly confident in articulating its interests and values, and prepared to engage robustly with the world to achieve its strategic objectives for a secure and prosperous future.